Who's the judge?
The judge is God.
Why is he God?
Because he decides to win or lose it, not my opponent.
Who's your opponent?
He doesn't exist.
Why does he not exist?
Because he is millions and 16 fortunes do not speak.
Who's the judge?
The judge is God.
Louder.
The judge is God.
Why is he God?
Because he decides to win or lose it, not my opponent.
Who's your opponent?
He doesn't exist.
Why does he not exist?
Because he is millions and 16 fortunes do not speak.
Speak the truth.
Speak the truth.
Denzel Washington's The Great Debaters, the American historical fiction drama, is based on the true story of Professor Melvin B. Tolson and his Wiley College debaters in their struggle for dignity and justice. This was the America of the 1930s. Jim Crow laws were common, segregation was the norm, and lynch mobs were a fear for African Americans. Professor Tolson picks 4 students for his team. The youngest, James Farmer Jr., the same James Farmer who later became a pioneer of the civil rights movement and was the initiator and organizer of the first freedom ride in 1961, which eventually led to the desegregation of interstate transportation in the United States. The other 3 are Samantha Brooke, an aspiring lawyer, the rebellious Henry Law, and the more conservative Hamilton Burgess, who later drops out insecure of Tolson's radical politics. Inspired and with nearly undefeated season, the Wiley College debate team goes on to challenge Harvard, historically the University of Southern California, in the national championship. At the Sander Theatre, before a fully packed audience, James Farmer Jr. stands before the podium on which hangs the Harvard shield with its Latin motto, Veritas, truth. He speaks, his voice broadcasts live through radio to his home in Texas.
Civil disobedience is a moral weapon in the fight for justice.
What we bear witness to as the debate progresses is a persuasive but deeply combative exploration of the moral spirit that drives civil disobedience. Is it anarchy or is it justice? For Gandhi, it was beyond both of these. It was Satyagraha. It was the aagraha, the plea for Satya or truth.
Who's the judge?
Judge is God.
Why is he God?
Because he decides who wins or loses, not my opponent.
And who is your opponent?
He doesn't exist.
And why doesn't he exist?
Because he is a mere dissenting voice to the truth I speak.
That's right. Speak the truth.
Distinct from Thoreau's passive resistance, which gets mentioned in the debate, self-sufferance was the core of Satyagraha. Gandhi writes, the word Satya or truth is derived from Sat, which means being. Nothing is or exists in reality except truth. That is why Sat or truth is perhaps the most important name of God. In fact, it is more correct to say that truth is God than to say God is truth. Almost 2 decades since the Wiley College's historic debate, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., inspired by Gandhi, visited Highlander Folk School in Tennessee. As part of the meeting, folk singer Pete Seeger got up with his banjo. He plucked out a song he had learned at Highlander and led the audience in singing it. Dr. King found himself humming the tune in the car. There is something about that song that haunts you, he said to his companions. That song was, We Shall Overcome. We shall overcome. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. It soon became the anthem of the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s. It offered courage, comfort, and hope as protesters confronted prejudice and hate in the battle for equal rights for African Americans. Just 4 days before his death, on March 31, 1968, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered the speech at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., where he said,
But we shall overcome
And I tell you why. We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We shall overcome because Carlyle is right. No lie can live forever. We shall overcome because William Cullen Bryant is right. Truth crushed to earth will rise again.
As we go through times of intense fragmentation, distrust and despair in our social, spiritual and cultural lives, let's sing along. We shall overcome.